Hey, how's it going everyone? Today we'll be discussing the Starfield release date for the newest patch for both Xbox and PC. Not only that, but we'll also be discussing some of the bugs that have been confirmed fixed by the developers. Then to finish up the video, we'll talk about a few other things at the end, but with that being said, let's go ahead and dive right into this. So one of the questions I've been receiving as of late has been about the Starfield patch. When will it be released? Is this going to last till next month? What's the deal, right? Well, this was confirmed on November 8th, 2023 during the Starfield beta update 1.8.83 patch notes. Because if you take a look on the screen here over at Bethesda.net, it says right here on the bottom, the developers have said, Starfield Steam Beta is now available for you to opt in. The beta allows our Steam players to try out our next update for Starfield in a separate beta version of the game before the update goes live for all Xbox and PC players later this month. End quote. Now, I could obviously continue on there with the DLSS support, but it's not needed. You guys already know what's going on. But really, that's your confirmation right there. It's going to be this month. If you take a look at the calendar, it's the 19th right now. It's the weekend, so I would assume the final beta patch could possibly come sometime Tuesday or even Wednesday next week. After this week. So we're probably going to receive one more patch before then, and then we'll finally receive the actual patch for both PC and Xbox all over. So that's the good news. That's your best bet on when to expect this update. I know a lot of people have kind of went over it, but there you go. That's your confirmation right there. Now, sure, there's not an exact release date for when this patch will be out, but I can guarantee you it will be next week, either Tuesday or Wednesday. The reason why I say this is because recently they just updated to patch 1.8.86, which was fairly small. It's like 1 gigabyte or something like that, maybe 2. Which, if I had any idea, I would say they're definitely cooking up something fairly large here for the last and final patch before they do release it to everybody. Continuing onwards here, we're going to discuss some of the bugs that have been confirmed fixed by the developers. If you're wondering where I got my sources from this would be from Bethesda.net, the support site over there. What you can see right here, it says crew management -Starfield. Then the developers have left this down below saying, we are aware of an issue that causes crew members to disappear when changing your ship. This will be resolved in a future update. In the meantime, make sure to save before changing your ship or temporarily remove your crew members to prevent this from occurring. There is some good news here and some bad news. The bad news right away is that you're not going to see this in this update because they've noted that it's a future update. But the good news is that you're going to be able to see this resolved in the future, which is good. But honestly, it's kind of crap that you're going to have to wait a little bit longer to see that fixed. Continuing on towards the next one here, which says, why am I missing dialogue and unable to initiate Barrett's commitment quest? The developers have left this at the bottom saying, we are aware of an issue where some companion dialogue may be missing and players may be unable to initiate Barrett's commitment quest. This issue is currently being investigated, which, okay, so it's not resolved, but if you have been going through that bug right there, it's good to know that it's going to be investigated, or it already has, and maybe they're just going to update it eventually, but nonetheless, it's an issue and they're looking into it. Moving on towards the next bug, which is right here. Why am I unable to enter Jacob Coe's house after skipping the main storyline in the new game plus? The developers have left this at the bottom, saying, we are investigating an issue where players may not be able to enter Jacob Coe's house if they skip the main storyline in new game plus. This page will be updated when more information is available and yada 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 with the rest of the information there. But this right here is some good news because you're going to see this resolved in a future update, which could either be this patch, which I highly doubt. Your best bet is probably going to be the next patch next month. Moving on to the next bug right here, it says guilty parties, Ryujin Industry faction mission Starfield. Then the developers have left this at the bottom saying, we are aware of an issue where Kimiho's slate doesn't load for the mission guilty parties. This issue is currently being investigated. If this bug right here is currently affecting your save, it's some bad news for you because it's not going to be released this patch. It's good that they are investigating it, but at the same time, if this has been ruining your playthrough, then I would assume you would want something like this now, and unfortunately, it's not going to be the case. The next one that we're going to be discussing here is something something I know a lot of you have been experiencing, and so what is it? Do you recall or probably currently have an asteroid that's stuck to your ship? Well, if that's the case, here's some good news. There is a fix for it, but it's not going to be this patch, it's going to be in a future update. What you can see right here, it says, what do I do if I have an asteroid stuck to or following my starship? The developers have left this at the bottom saying, we are aware of an issue that some players have persistent asteroids following their starships. This will be resolved in a future update. In the meantime, you may need to revert to an earlier save before the asteroid started following you, but before doing that, try the following. And then they have some things down there below, but I highly doubt that that's going to resolve the problem. Especially if you've had an asteroid that's been following you ever since then, it's probably just not going to be possible to remove it. The only reason why I say that is because, of course, if you have progressed so far in the campaign, you're not going to be able to revert back. I mean, sure you can, but at that point, you're losing so many hours. Moving on towards the next bug right here, it says, what do I do if I have NPCs from a mission stuck on my ship? The developers have left this at the bottom saying, we are aware of an issue where NPCs may remain stuck on a ship. If they die or are killed before reaching their destination, and the mission fails. The issue will be resolved in a future update. We advise loading a previous save from before the mission began to work around the issue in the meantime, end quote, which, by the way, is not a bad recommendation, but I kind of hate the fact that that's your only way of resolving it, is to look back and see if you have a old save to reload, which kind of sucks, but it's good, I guess, that they give you something to do or some way to resolve it. Anyways, let's continue on towards the next bug. Right here it says, what do I do if my companion is missing or stuck? The developers have left this at the bottom saying, we are aware of an issue that causes crew members to disappear when changing your ship. This will be resolved in a future update. In the meantime, make sure to save before changing your ship or temporarily remove your crew member to prevent this from occurring. Okay, so pretty much it's the same thing as the one prior. They're just kind of including both of them in here. Then if you take a look right here at the next one, it says, quote, what do I do if the items placed in my ship vanish? Right here at the bottom, the developers have said on September 25th, 2023, Starfield received an update that addressed the following. Fixed an issue that would cause displayed items to disappear when applied to in-ship mannequins. Fixed an issue that would cause items stored in the Razor Leaf storage containers and weapon racks to disappear after commanding another ship. Please note you may have to modify your ship for this to take effect in an existing save file. Any modifications, even simple modifications such as painting or moving the missile launcher, will work, end quote. The only reason why I'm reading this and bringing this up is because it's not fully resolved for a good portion of you. And now I understand why, because there at the end, they even talk about how you need to modify your ship in order to fully resolve this issue, which I would highly recommend that you guys do this if you have been losing items as of late. I know that there has been so many saying, hey, I'm losing items still in the Razor Leaf, and this is probably the fact right here that you need to change something on the ship in order to fully resolve the issue. And last but not least, they have fixed a companion issue, but this will not be here until the next update. What you can see on the screen, it says Matters of the Heart Companion Mission Starfield. Then at the bottom, the developers have said, we are aware of an issue where that prevents players from entering the ship after approaching Valerie's secret cache. Attempting to enter the ship multiple times over the course of a few minutes may resolve this. This will be resolved in a future update. Now, as you can see, there has been some things that have been confirmed fixed that you will see in a future update, or there's some things that are currently being investigated. With that aside, let's go ahead and talk about something else that's been on my mind. I know that a lot of you have been questioning whether or not a certain exploit has been fixed, what is working. From what I can tell right now is that a good portion, if not all of the glitches are working. So you can use a good portion of the exploits to get a bunch of XP and all that, or you can use a glitch to kind of glitch through a wall. You can do those things, right? But when it comes down to the next patch, who knows? They could fix quite a few exploits, and really that could be the case. As of right now, nothing has been changed, so you can definitely do everything that you can do last patch. I highly recommend that you guys check out one of my previous videos where I go over the following working glitches. If you would like to see that, I will link it down below. And last but not least, I do want to talk about something else here, because I know some things have been popping up left and right within the beta. For example, I have seen some downgraded weapons of mine, which was quite sad to see. But at the same time, at least it's good to know that That's a problem, and I can report it to them so you guys don't have to experience it. But there's also some other things going on right here. This Steam user says right here, "Save game's broken. Hey people, I have a really nasty problem here and hope someone can help me with it. At the moment I'm using the beta branch of the game, and until yesterday everything worked fine so far. But as I try to start up the game today and want to load my latest save, it just loads for a short moment and then crashes back to the desktop. Okay, I thought just the latest save game may be affected, but no, every single save game is affected. Doesn't matter which one I pick, same result. My game is not modded at the latest patch, and also I've checked the game files via Steam. Everything seems to be fine on this end. Does somebody have any possible solution to that issue? Otherwise, 80 hours of gameplay just went out the window." Oh boy, so yeah, that's another issue going on right now. I've seen quite a few saves that have just randomly popped up broken. I've seen some on Xbox with corrupted saves, so I would automatically assume that these both go hand in hand. Maybe it's the same issue. I honestly could not tell you, but that is something that's going around as well. What's interesting is that even if they do release this patch, what happens when that patch is completely broken and it breaks more things? What do we do then? Do we go back to the beta patch? Do they resolve some of those issues? I mean, there's so many things that can pop up and cause so many problems, and it's a big problem right now, honestly. So with these issues, hopefully everything is resolved, because if not, there's going to be more problems in the next patch. Let me know what you guys think about this, all of the things that we talked about in today's video. If you have any questions, please comment down below. I will be replying back within the first hour or two. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel, and I appreciate the love and support, and I'll see you all in the next video.